With the brand new 23.20 update, we got the introduction of the Falcon Scout, and this is an extremely fun item, probably one of the most interesting items that have ever been added into Fortnite. And I just feel like we've been seeing the addition of so many unique and different weapons and items throughout the past couple of seasons that you wouldn't really have seen a lot during Chapter 2. Sure, you had certain seasons of Chapter 2, like Season 7, that offered very unique and different items from what you would normally see, but it seems like we're really in a renaissance when it comes to these types of items that really switch up the gameplay. And I was initially kind of disappointed by the 23.20 update because it really only seemed to add a few new augments and this Falcon item, but I didn't really realize how interesting this Falcon item actually was. And I think it's kind of easy to take for granted how much effort Fortnite's really been putting into these unique items. The Falcon Scout is a really good supportive tool for you and your team, with you being able to use it to scout out other players on the map and even pick up loot from across different areas. We even discovered that you can open supply drops with this thing, which is incredibly powerful considering that the Deku Smash is currently in the game. And this Falcon item just makes team play a lot more interesting. Combine that with other items like the Shockwave Hammer and the Shield, and you have a really interesting loot pool. It also helps that Fortnite's been doing some pretty cool unvaults, like bringing back the Burst AR and the Heavy Shotgun. So it makes it feel like this loot pool's really starting to come together. I already enjoyed it quite a bit at the start, but now I'm really liking it. The Shield item in particular is probably my favorite new addition, mostly because it gives me a reason to actually want to play Zero Build now. I feel like for me, Zero Build's always been a preferable option, but I've been sticking to build mode simply due to the fact that the map just usually isn't really designed for Zero Build. I was hoping that Chapter 4 would remedy this. Well, it seems better. The Chapter 4 map still isn't really designed for Zero Build and has some big open areas that aren't that fun to fight in when you don't have great cover. But with the Shield item, you can create cover on the spot, and it makes Zero Build a lot more interesting and a lot more enjoyable, which has kind of led me to abandon build mode. And with this brand new Falcon, you got an added layer of tactical strategy that I really enjoy about Zero Build. Having one player be able to scope out the area and nab supply drops while you sit back with the shield and protect them is a really cool dynamic. I just wish there was more incentive for this type of play style. Given the fact that it is still a BR, it is mostly based on survival and being the last man standing, there's not really any objectives to go for or any goals to go for outside of your main mission to just stay alive unless you just want to nab some extra loot. But I made a whole video on how Fortnite can improve the overall gameplay and innovate on the BR genre if you're interested in watching that. Overall, this season has just presented me with so many ideas of how Fortnite could innovate the game because they've been doing such a good job of bringing us these interesting concepts. I just hope with Season 2 they take it to the next level. But I'm just really happy that we're getting these really fun and interesting items back again. It feels like it's been a while. Chapter 3 really set that in motion, and Chapter 4 is just going all the way with it now, coming up with even crazier things. And adding items that really help out both Zero Build and just team modes. Not to mention these items also bring a lot of variety to creative maps as well. And I hope Fortnite keeps giving us these really cool items. We've seen some leaks of things that could be in the future, and overall from what I've seen, I'm really excited to see what comes next. This is definitely one of the best Fortnite loot pools I think we have ever seen. And it's really just gotten better and better with each and every update. But here's my main worry about this. Fortnite is always changing with each and every season, and we're always seeing drastic changes to either the map or the loot pool, and I'm worried that these items aren't gonna last until next season. We have an amazing loot pool right now, and I'm really worried that next season they're gonna just kind of mess it up by taking out a lot of this stuff. Like, there's a lot of really good items here that I feel like should be mainstays, especially the shield, because without that, I'll be going back to build mode. That's how important that item is to the game for me. And speaking of build mode and Zero Build, now would probably be a good time to start introducing separate loot pools for these modes. I know it could get quite confusing to have different loot pools for these two, but I think it would definitely benefit them, because it's really annoying to see build mode have to take out items like traps just because Zero Build can't have them. And we're already starting to see this a little bit with things like the Porta Bunker and placeable launch pads being exclusive to Zero Build. I just hope this means that we can get different items for different modes. And I really hope certain items don't get taken out just because they'd be too overpowered in Zero Build. And I just hope a lot of these items just don't get taken out in general, because while they can be very strong and very powerful, they can also be very helpful and a lot of fun. And while it's important to keep the game balanced, we've seen that in the past, making the game overly balanced can make it pretty boring. And you always have Arena for the players that want a completely balanced experience. And speaking of Arena, I always felt that Arena should also get its own loot pool as well. But that's a whole discussion for another day. Overall, I'm really happy with these brand new items that Fortnite's been introducing, and they're honestly doing more for the game than I initially thought. It really takes me back to when we would get really exciting items such as the bouncers or the shockwave grenades or even the rift-to-goes, but now they're even more complex and more interesting and allow for even more strategy than before, which is always super welcome. And I'm honestly having a hard time this season figuring out what stuff I want to carry. But anyways, what do you guys think about the loot pool right now? Have you guys been enjoying all these fun items that Fortnite has been adding? Let me know in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, because I make videos like this all the time, and you can also use my supporter creator code Bendominator in the Fortnite item shop #ad. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.